Hello everyone, I'm here with another video for you. Hey, this happened a long time ago when I was just starting out in my professional career. I was working for a small company that specialized in industrial automation and process control systems. The project was estimated to take several months and would require multiple technicians and engineers to complete. After the proposal was accepted and the purchase order was signed, I began pulling together my team. We brought in a few extra technicians because of the size of the facility and the amount of work involved. He walked us over to the specific building where our work would take place. It was a large metal structure with dirt floors and a high ceiling. There were all kinds of pipes running throughout the building and large vats filled with various chemicals. It looked like something straight out of a horror movie. I wanted to make sure that we had enough hands on deck to get the job done quickly and efficiently. His face was pale and his eyes were wide with fear. Her eyes, hollow and mournful, stared straight through me, and I could have sworn that I heard a sob that echoed through the desolate landscape. With each step she took toward me, the air grew colder, and the dry leaves beneath my feet rustled furiously, as if disturbed by an unseen presence. My blood ran cold as I realized who it was. Helen Miller, the woman whose hand I had unearthed from its grave. Each word that tumbled from my lips added another layer to the chilling narrative. The encounter left an indelible mark on my soul, a constant reminder of the unseen forces that may lie dormant beneath the surface of our world. Their questions hung in the air like the scent of decaying leaves. Why did she appear to me? What did her ghostly visit foretell? I had no answers, only the lingering chill of her spectral touch and the haunting echo of her mournful wail. He stammered and said, "I'm sorry, but I can't let you in." Then she did something that sent shivers down my spine. If you haven't already, please subscribe for more great stories. Until next time, happy haunting. She waved, not in greeting, but in a gesture of accusation and despair. I lunged forward, my heart pounding in my chest, and stumbled onto the road beyond. Gasping for breath, I turned to look back at the cemetery, half expecting to see Helen's vengeful spirit rising from the gates. But it was gone. All I could see was the tall, dark silhouette of the cypress trees against the darkening sky. I never looked back. Her ethereal form flickered, and she began to speak, her voice a hollow whisper that seemed to emanate from the grave itself. "Why have you disturbed my rest?" she wailed, her words echoing with the weight of centuries. "Leave this place," she commanded, her voice growing in strength, "before it's too late." But I couldn't move. I was frozen in place, paralyzed by fear. Her spectral form began to glow, and with a final ear-piercing scream, she vanished. We were all taken aback by his sudden change in demeanor. I stumbled back, my eyes wide with terror, and fell to my knees. Adrenaline surged through my veins, propelling me backward away from the grave. Scrambling to my feet, I fled, stumbling over roots and rocks, desperate to escape the oppressive presence that permeated the graveyard. I didn't dare look back, but I could feel her presence following me, her spectral hand dragging me back to the grave. He looked like he had seen a ghost. I asked him what was wrong, and he whispered, "There's someone in there. I didn't see you." We could hear strange noises coming from inside the building. It sounded like someone or something moving around. Was he trying to warn us about something? What was in there? I didn't know it at the time, but it would soon become one of the scariest things that I had ever encountered. Our customer base was predominantly factories and industrial manufacturing facilities. I told him that we appreciated his warning, but we had no choice but to go in. As we slowly opened the door and stepped inside, the sound of scraping metal grew louder. I felt a sudden chill go down my spine, and I couldn't help but wonder what lurked in the darkness ahead. The stench hit me first, a nauseating mix of decay and damp earth. It clung to my throat, making it difficult to swallow. My eyes struggled to pierce the gloom as I scanned the dimly lit space. Then I saw it. One such client was a large chemical plant that produced fertilizers and other agricultural products. Had it been calling out to me from its earthen prison? A wave of unease washed over me, but curiosity, the insatiable curiosity of youth, propelled me forward. I cautiously approached the hand, careful not to disturb the mound of dirt that concealed the rest of its owner's remains. With trembling fingers, I brushed away the layer of soil, revealing more of the skeleton. It was then that I noticed the inscription on the bone. The name Helen was etched into the bone. Her last name was Miller. A cold gust of wind suddenly swept through the area, rustling the dry leaves and causing the branches to sway eerily. In that instant, the hairs on the back of my neck stood on end. I felt a presence behind me and slowly turned around, my heart pounding in my chest. They had recently hired us to upgrade and expand one of their production facilities. It was going to be a big project, so they put me in charge of it. I was only about 24 years old, and this was my first major project leading role. I was nervous, but excited about the challenge. As part of the project's scope, we were to install new process control computers, HMIs and VFDs, to replace their old analog equipment. Our crew consisted of myself, 4 other technicians, and our foreman. Most of them had been with the company for years and were very experienced. They were all great guys, and I really enjoyed working with them, but I could tell that some of them weren't exactly thrilled about working on yet another process control upgrade project. They'd been doing these types of jobs for weeks and now months, and were probably getting a little burned out. But there was nothing I could do about it. We needed the work, and they knew that, so they sucked it up and got to work. The plant was located about an hour away from our office. Most of us carpooled down there in 2 different vehicles. We got there around 7 a.m. and signed in at the front office. Then we went out to the main gate, where our escort was supposed to meet us. He was a guy that worked for the plant and was responsible for ensuring that we were able to get into the areas that we needed to work in. After about 10 minutes of waiting around, our escort finally showed up. He apologized profusely for being late and said that he had a family emergency that he had to deal with first. We told him not to worry about it and that we were glad that everything was okay. He seemed very shaken up, and we could tell that whatever it was that he had to deal with must have been pretty serious. We followed him through the plant until we got to the production area. Our escort stopped at the entrance and turned around to face us. He begged us not to go in there, but we had to. It was our job, and we needed to get started. An emaciated hand protruded from the ground, its fingers curled as if in a desperate attempt to grasp something. Anything. But what did it want? And that's when I saw her. Standing before me was the specter of a woman, her form translucent and shimmering like heat waves rising from the pavement. My terror intensified when she raised a finger, her long bony digits pointing accusingly towards me. The sudden silence was deafening, and I could feel the weight of her accusing gaze upon me, even though she was gone. Suddenly I burst through the trees, the wrought iron gates of the cemetery looming before me like a beacon of hope. As I recounted the tale, the faces of my companions were etched with disbelief and fascination. From that day forward, I carried the memory of Helen Miller's grave like a shroud. Thank you for listening. If you liked the story, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends.